We have Ian Bennett. So, Ian Bennett,
Thanks, Brian.
absolutely. Let me bring you up. Awesome. Huh, so, how's your day going so far? You have a good Veterans
So,
Day?
so far, so good. Happy Veterans Day to you. Thanks very much for inviting me and inviting me twice. The first time I missed it, second time you finally cornered me. So really appreciate it.
Uh, well, I'm going to tell you my secret AI
What's-
automation.
I was going to say persistence, but AI supports that too. So
Yeah, it's a sequence. So, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them. They're either going to say a stop or they're going to come. But one thing's going to happen. But
that's
see, it
great.
worked.
It did. It did. So happy to be here. Happy to
And I
support.
think you're going to really enjoy it. So let's start off with a little bit about you. So obviously, I'm the one who nominated you, right?
It.
And what branch did you serve in?
So I served in the Army. I'm a graduate of University of New Hampshire's Wildcat ROTC program,
Oh,
commissioned as
nice.
a field artillery officer.
Okay, field artillery. I got it. So many questions about that.
So do I.
um,
That makes two of us.
yeah.
I didn't learn
Well,
anything in your basic course.
gotcha. Well, that's incredible. How is your hearing?
What?
Yeah. That's automatic 10% disability, right? Tinnitus.
No, no. Unfortunately, they were like, "Yeah, you're deaf, but we're not going to give you any disability for your hearing." Tinnitus, on the other hand, was it's I can it's constant pitch. So
Yeah. We need to find one of these good organizations like the DAB that can help upgrade your disability status.
I will say, so one, thank you very much for inviting me, but I want to do a quick shout out to the VSO. I had a phenomenal VSO who was absolutely passionate about getting me everything that I would deserved, and she worked very, very hard. And the one thing that she did, which I had not considered, although my wife had been pushing me for it, was doing a mental health checkup. And
Mm,
I think that it takes a little bit of being humble and acknowledging that you need a little bit of help. And I am very, very thankful that the VSO pushed me in that direction. And I'm very happy that I took that. And the VA has done a phenomenal job. So the VA that in the town that I live in, which is Charleston, West Virginia, does an absolute bang up job. So
awesome. It's good to know. So what years did you serve?
I served 27 years. I entered the Army in 1995. I graduated or I retired after 20. I retired as a colonel in 2022.
Oh, amazing. Wow. So you've been out for 3 years now.
I have.
What was your transition like? And then we'll get into the other questions.
So I was fortunate in that I was the director for the Airland Sea Application Center. Quite a few of my officers were in the retirement process, so they gave me a lot of hints and guides along the way to include the VSO, who to go see. Um, but they also turned me on to like leveraging veteran service organizations. Google
Good.
did a great program with uh, their Google veteran Google program, and while I was not successful in getting employed by Google, I thought their 2 day or 3 day seminar was phenomenal. But I also worked with the Commit Foundation, and they did about a 6 month run up, and that was a great experience. It was a good way to start thinking about transition. And then since I had served in Charlie 375 Rangers, I was able to join a group called Special Operators Transition Foundation, and they
All
did
right.
a phenomenal job in setting me up, getting comfortable with who I was, and then transitioning to my first role following the Army, which was working for Travel Centers of America. So I was on their sustainability team working on EV infrastructure, the networking of all our sites, grants, and grant management. And then I also, following that, I was fortunate to get hired into USAID working for the Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance. So
Wow.
a second grade organization. And that goes back to, I think one of the first questions is like, what caused you to serve or what motivated you
Yeah,
to serve?
how do you basically how have you served your community since leaving? Like, how do you serve it? How do you serve your community now?
Well,
If
I'm pretty quiet. So
okay,
I I had a great career, but I think that for me, once I hung up my uniform, it was time to move on to something else. Uh, I the Tom who was talking previously was talking about farmers, Veterans for Farmers program, which I think is
yeah,
phenomenal. The West Virginia group has been advertising beekeepers, Veterans for Beekeeping, and so I think that's another great program in West Virginia. But
I have heard of that.
if I take a step back, I'm the son of a diplomat, so I grew up overseas.
Nice.
So I had a very privileged life of being exposed to a lot of other cultures and ethnicities and enjoying phenomenal food around the world. And so that got me into the mindset of service. And so it was an easy transition from graduating from college into the Army, but it was also equally easy to transition from the Army into civilian career. But then when I had the opportunity to join USAID, it was another opportunity to serve. And so for me, everything that I learned in the military would be applicable to trying to um, serve those in need, especially in humanitarian crisis and disaster relief. Unfortunately, that was cut short, but it was almost like coming home, and it was a great transition and great continuation of my of service. And so I think that while locally I spend very little time um, on local issues, other than living here and being happy to be um, a transplant into West Virginia, which is a great state and with wonderful people. Um, the my focus really was on overseas, and so USAID was a great opportunity.
Oh, awesome. So tell me, what does patriotism mean to you?
Great question. Patriotism for me is service, and so whether you're in the military or whether you're doing something else that supports the community, the medical profession, educators, government servants, whether it's GS or state level, federal or state level, as well as educators as well. A big one is serving for the greater good and for the benefit of the nation. So for me, that's patriotism. And while I think my peers who are veterans of the military have contributed greatly, but I think other members of this great nation have served admirably. Hats off to the Peace Corps. My brother was a member of the Peace Corps, and he's currently serving with the Department of State, as well as my father, who was recalled from um, and then served in Baghdad. He and I overlapped for a year in Iraq. So
Oh wow.
he was a PRT leader serving. He was there for 2 years. I was there for 1 year when we crossed over. So
So I have another question. What
sure.
advice would you give to? Because I'm sure we have a lot of transitioning veterans on this call, or at least they will be seeing the replay. What advice would you give someone who's about to transition out of the military right now in this day and age?
Uh, so one is update all your medical records. Make sure you get everything checked out that hurts. That's number one. Find good VSO to help you navigate the VA system. Two is network and take advantage of programs, whether it's Commit Foundation, uh, American Corporate Partners, or USO Pathfinders. Those are examples of great areas or great organizations that you can leverage as you transition out. LinkedIn is a great place to meet people, and then your peers who've retired or have ended their service. Those people will be great people to reach out to and find lessons learned. And then finally, it's working with your family because your family is part of the transition. And so um, some are ready to leave earlier. My wife was very happy that I was getting ready to retire. Um, but also those who are, uh, it's an adjustment. And so it's just being aware and accepting the adjustment. And then finally, I would say it's never too late. I'm a big advocate for mental health. I'm a big advocate for getting seen early. And so that would be a great final check to make sure that you're ready.
One last question, because you're a alumni of it. I mentioned the Commit Foundation earlier when I was going through resources that are available for veterans. But can you tell me what the Commit Foundation does, and if you would recommend that to other service members transitioning out?
Yes. So Commit Foundation is an example of an organization that helps you transition. They help you in terms of finding out who you are, your likes, your passions. They help you think through, navigate the mental transition from military to the civilian side. But also more importantly, they help with interview processes. They work with you in terms of your character traits, and so and then their community continues to help you throughout after the transition. So you're a graduate of the program, but you're also a part of a legacy, and so that's a great organization. And if you work with special operations at all in your career, the other group is Special Operators Transition Foundation, and they do a great job for special operators as they seek to transition um, to the civilian side.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure listening to you and talking with you, and really hope that everything works out well, and then you get some good stories in the civilian life. So thank you again for um, enduring my pep pep talk to get you on here.
Thank you,
Uh,
Brian. Really appreciate it. And thank you for your time. Thank you for putting this together.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.